Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm starting something really exciting. I've recently developed a new interest in Android apps, and this is me making my very first Android app. But before jumping straight into the building, I want to give a little background about the Android apps. Android app development, especially the difference between the traditional ways that with XML and the new way with the Jetpack Compose. So, traditionally, Android apps were built with XML layouts. You would have an XML file to describe the UI and then link it with your activity or fragment in Kotlin or Java. That worked for years, but it also came with a lot of problems: repetitive code, boilerplate, and a very sharp separation between the design and the logic that sometimes made things harder to maintain. Enter Jetpack Compose. This is Google's modern UI toolkit for Android. Instead of juggling XML files, you just write everything in Kotlin. The UI is declarative, meaning you describe how it should look, and Compose takes care of updating when your data changes. So why is Jetpack Compose better? It's easier to learn, requires less boilerplate, supports animations and theming directly, and works seamlessly with Material Design 3. Plus, it feels very modern, almost like writing React but for Android. Why I chose Jetpack Compose Basics? Because I'm just starting out and I wanted something simple but also foundational. That's why I picked the Jetpack Compose Basics Codelab as my very first Android app. The Lab is perfect for beginners. It introduces the key ideas, it's hands on, and at the end, you actually have something working on your phone or your emulator. Let me quickly go through the pages of the code lab so you know what's inside before I show the projects I built with it. It starts with the introduction, explaining what Compose is and what we will be building. You can see they immediately position Compose as the modern toolkit for Android. Then it walks you through setting up your Android Studio and making sure you have the Compose template ready. This is helpful because Compose apps don't use the same templates as older XML based apps. Your first composer. This is where you create your very first composable function, usually something like a simple greeting text, like Hello Android. The idea is to show how you can make reusable UI blocks. And now we see the layouts in Compose. It explains how to arrange items with rows, columns, and modifiers. This part is really important because Compose doesn't use XML constraints or linear layouts like before. Everything is done with modifiers. And this is the reusable Compose. In this one, we learn how to create the columns, rows, and boxes. And this is the stackable this is the stackable compose where you learn how to stack words on one top of another. State in compose. After that, it covers the state management. This is key. How the app remembers values and updates the UI when things changes. You'll see remember and mutable state of for the first time here. And next, we have theming and material design. The lab ends by showing how you can change colors, typography, and shapes using material theme. This is exactly the part I later customized heavily to make projects unique. So here's a quick tour of the Jetpack Compose Basics Code Labs. It covers all essentials, composable layouts, lists, state, and theming, everything you need to start making real apps. Okay, let's start with my first project, which is really simple but an important one, a scrollable list. When you open the app, you'll see a list of cards that you can scroll through vertically. Each card has some text, and as you scroll, new items keep appearing on the screen. This is powered by LazyColumn in Jetpack Compose. So, here's the app in action. You can swipe up and down smoothly, and Compose handles all the recycling of views for you. If you've used Recycle View before, you know how much boilerplate it required, but here it literally just takes a few lines of Kotlin code. In my code, I used lazy column with items to create the list. Each item is wrapped inside a card, so it looks very clean and structured. The best part is that it is fully declarative. You just tell Compose, hey, I want a list of items with this layout, and it handles the rest. Now, another fun part of this project is changing colors. In the code lab, the default theme was pretty standard, but I wanted to personalize it. So in the theme.kt file, I tweaked the color scheme. You can change the primary, secondary, and background colors really easily. I went with a brighter set of colors so my app feels more playful and personalized. This is how the app looked with the default material theme, and this is after I applied my new colors. You can immediately see the difference. It feels fresh and customized. And the best thing, Jetpack Compose makes it consistent across the whole app. You don't have to manually update XML styles or worry about separate night mode files. One theme file handles it all. So yeah, project 1 gave me a great start, a scrollable list with lazy column, and a quick dive into theming and color customization. Simple but really powerful when you compare it with how we used to do it in the XML file. Now, before I wrap up Project 1, let's talk a little bit about composables because that's really the heart of Jetpack Compose. In XML, we used to define layouts in separate files, but here every piece of UI is just a function with, with the add composable annotation. And the cool part, composables can be combined together like Lego blocks. A screen is just a collection of smaller composables. So even in this simple scrollable list project, I already got a taste of how powerful composables are. They're reusable, testable, and they make the UI code feel like real Kotlin